Plotting only blue skies, always catching vibes from my hometown. As long as I'm alive, can't bring me down. California, rescue me. I've been so low, I've been weak. It's too long since I've had peace. Well, California, California, rescue me. Rescue me. Rescue me. California, California, rescue me.
A California man calls for police to shoot him after allegedly stabbing multiple people with a screwdriver. This comes just minutes before an officer-involved shooting.
Based on what you've been seeing, do you feel like this is going to escalate even further tonight?
My gut feeling is it's going to.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. I almost forgot to unmute my mic there. That was great. That would have been a classic Joe Biden moment for Joe Biden's live stream. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the Joe Biden podcast, live on the Joe Biden podcast YouTube channel. Oh, man. Make sure to sign up for Joe Biden's Patreon. Join the Joe Biden Discord. Check out joebiden.net for all of the archived episodes. Make sure to do all that. Because I am officially becoming Joe Biden. You're using the wrong name, Daft Icup. I do not go by that name anymore. That's my dead name. I'm now Joe Biden. Please address me as the proper title. I'm going to need you to do that right this instant, or else you're getting banned from the stream. I'm never going to talk to you again, ever. It's going to be a real tragic ending to your tale. All right, we already got 4 people in here. This is 4 true American patriots who are supporting Joe Biden's podcast. I really like to see this. Glad to see everyone here. And, I've been photoshopping myself into all these Joe Biden pictures for the backgrounds of the streams, and I think that it's wearing off on me, I think it's happening. You got banned on Discord? Did you actually? Oh, no. But, they say that you gotta fake it till you make it. I'm gonna fake being Joe Biden until I actually become Joe Biden. Because I think that that's guaranteed. There are all these things that are guaranteed in America, like death and taxes. You're also guaranteed to get old. You're guaranteed to become Joe Biden one day. And you know what? If I can make it, I think all of us can make it. I think we all can become Joe Biden. I think we all can do it. We just need to get as many vaccines as him. If you get as many vaccines as Joe Biden, you will become him one day. That's the funny thing. When I was looking for this picture, because this is obviously like a picture of Joe Biden for the thumbnail in the background, I was looking through all these pictures. There are so many pictures of this guy getting the vaccine. Like he's gotten it like 20 times according to all the pictures of it. Who am I voting for? I'm voting for myself. I'm gonna run. That's the easy answer. Yeah, what was I saying? That this guy, he I don't know what they're doing to him at the White House, but they are getting him hopped up on vaccines. Like they come out with a new mystery drug, every couple of weeks. There's like, hey Joe, get over here. You don't have long left anyways. Get over here, Joe. Like, we need to know exactly what, we need some new kind of test. Okay, I think I'm onto something here. We need some new kind of test that tests, you know how you can breathalyze someone for their blood alcohol percentage? We need a breathalyzer for blood vaccine percentage. Because we need to figure out how much blood has been replaced by mystery potions in Joe Biden's veins. So I'm pretty curious to see what that test would come back as, because I think that this guy is straight up booze cruising on vaccines at this point. They are in his brain, they are in his veins, they're in his membranes, they're everywhere in this guy's system. So let's all take some solace and be happy about the fact that we can also become Joe Biden if we get old and we shoot up enough drugs, enough mystery drugs. We need this this Asian doctor woman in the image. I'll call her Dr. Waifu. We need Dr. Waifu to overnight FedEx ground mail ship us as many doses of the vaccine as she's physically allowed to. We need to fill up an entire truck full of just liquid vaccine and then ship it over to the Garbage Mice headquarters immediately. And Arg is on his 4th Discord account. What in the world have you been posting that gets you banned off Discord? I didn't even think that was possible. Because I have said my fair share of racial slurs and whatnot on Discord. I have not gotten banned. My account is from like 2016. And I have been spitting red pill truth bombs since then. And nothing has happened to me. So I don't know. You must have like some kind of superpower. 'Cause I didn't think that was possible to get banned off Discord. You know, they don't even ban the groomers. They hire them. They hire the groomers to work at Discord. Oh yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I was watching Joe Biden clips the other day. We're gonna get into the rambling. Oh, you're on your 5th account. That's a Medal of Honor once you get to your 5th account. But yeah, we're gonna get to the rambling now, so strap in. But I was watching Joe Biden clips the other day because I had to watch clips of the news, and this guy looks like he's just on death's door. Like, and I was originally gonna name the stream something else. It was originally going to have a different name to like basically imply that Joe Biden's life is just like not even worth living. Like it really is sad that like this guy, he wakes up, he doesn't know what planet he's on, and he gets his daily dose of mystery potion, and then the high point of his day is he gets to go allegedly grope his niece. That's the high point of his day. According to people on X.com, the most reliable source. That's what's going on with Papa Joe. Right, let me take my headphones off real quick. I don't really need them on. I'm not listening to any of you guys, so I don't need headphones for this. But yeah, I had to watch news clips because I needed to find stuff for the intro and the outro. There's oh, you're talking about rubbish rodents. I thought you were asking for the Garbage Mice Discord at first. It's like it's linked there. It's in the description, but no. Yeah, I can give you your rolls back, maybe. You gotta be like extra nice though. You gotta earn them back. But yeah, I had to find news clips for the intro for the stream as well as the outro too. I have an outro prepared. I really hope that people actually know about the intros and the outros because I put a decent amount of time into them. Yeah, I bet a lot of people just like skip through them. But, oh well. But the one today, I should probably explain it because it's really not that obvious that the footage from the intro is actually stuff that I filmed like a long time ago. And the purpose of the intro was to basically, it was to contrast two things that I do kind of feel about living here, which is there is a lot of natural beauty. There's a lot of natural beauty in California, living here. It's kind of nice, I gotta admit, and the weather is kind of nice. But to contrast the natural beauty that we have and then the ugliness of the people here, I try to get all symbolic with it, try to get deep. And then, yeah, that's probably the biggest point in favor of like environmentalists is like, look at California. we have so many people here, and it's such a nice place. Like you got beaches and everything, and then you got that guy who stabbed a bunch of people with a screwdriver and then got shot. So there's your contrast. But it was also. You know, I was thinking like, wow, I used to like want to stay here forever. That was how I used to feel about living here. I used to not want to leave. You know, back when those videos were filmed. And I obviously feel very different now. So yeah, I had to watch a lot of news stuff. Did that last night. I got black pilled. And that's the other thing. It's kind of like a boomer take to drop that, you know, you watch the news and you get sad, but it's definitely true because there were a couple stories where it's like, wow, I kind of wish I was just like blissfully ignorant to all this. Like, it's kind of sad what's going on. Like, you know, there is a white pill though. There's a white pill before I get into some of the stories. The white pill is that if you look in, like I was watching clips on YouTube, and if you look in the comments on a lot of these YouTube videos, the people in the comments are usually pretty based. Also, yeah, sorry, I just had to check something. I got blacked. Yeah. Okay, Mingo is right. I have to correct myself. I didn't get black pilled. I got blacked. There are plenty of places around here where I could go get blacked if I wanted to. Trust me. So it's both options are just as likely at this point. But yeah, I was saying that there are a lot of people in like YouTube comments under news clips that are pretty based. That was a little bit of a white pill to me. I got whited. Is that the term? The opposite of blacked. I got whited. By all the boomer YouTube commenters that were leaving comments on all the news stories. And I think the most interesting one that I saw, I'll get through the news real quick and then I'll talk about some other stuff. I think I'll just talk about this one story. Was also a local story to California, because I was looking at California news clips, obviously. Up in the Bay Area, which is where San Francisco and Sacramento, not really Sacramento, Sacramento's close to there, but yeah, basically up by San Francisco in the Bay Area, there was recently a land purchase, a very, very large land purchase, where some unknown group of people purchased $800 million of land. So nearly $1 billion of land. It's like a chunk of land that is the size of a city. And that's actually what they plan to do with it. They plan to build a city on the land. And the concern with that is that people really don't know who bought it. It's like a shell corporation that bought it pretty much. So we now have a unknown group of people who own a huge chunk of land outside of the Bay Area, and they want to put a city on it. So that's something that we can all look forward to, is literally foreigners coming in and building their own city. Which maybe that's better than them taking over the ones that already exist, but it's still not good. Because there were boomers bringing up good points in the comments, saying stuff like other countries, like the people who bought the land, who are supposedly foreign investors, are probably from a country who would not allow the United States to do the same thing with their country. Like this is not something that is usually accepted in a lot of powerful nations. Like they don't just allow stuff like this, and maybe some do. But it was a big point that a lot of people were bringing up, that like there's a reason that most countries don't allow stuff like this. Yeah, sorry for the dead air. I'm just doing something. But yeah, it was a little bit of an emotional roller coaster watching the news for like a half hour, seeing Joe Biden be senile, seeing people buying up entire cities worth of land. Yeah. And that's just, I was just watching the news that's like immediately local to me. Or not totally, but like within the state. So that was a bit of a trip, so to say. You know, we got a lot of stuff going on here. We got the You know, the temperature has been rising slowly, literally and figuratively. It's been getting hotter, but there's also the cost of living is going up. The minimum wage is going up, which the minimum wage going up means that your prices are going to rise, which means that your savings is worth less every year. And I talked about a lot of this stuff on the last stream, and the only way to avoid inflation destroying your savings is to give investment capital to the same people who are lobbying for inflation, among other things. Oh, whatever. I don't want to get too down in the dumps too soon. So I'll probably move on because I got something for the stream later. I've got a big piece of content that I want to show off. Something that I made especially for you guys. So I got that. That's going to be put on the screen later. Yeah. Later I'm done talking about inflation. How about this? I'm going to do a 180. I'm done talking about inflation. I'm going to red pill everybody on deflation. I think we should have a deflationary economy. How about that? Yeah, Mingo brings up a good point. People are asking for the minimum wage increases. They're pushing for the Great Reset. I hope nothing got cut off there in that message. Yeah, it looks fine. Also, I should probably say that if you're sending stuff in the chat and I'm not reading it, we discovered on the last stream. You can just go watch it if you want to know exactly what happened. Basically, YouTube is sending lots of people's messages to the shadow realm. So, if deflation fetish, okay. Deflation fetish. All right, it's good to know what Bagel is into. Yeah, I'm gonna red pill everyone on deflation tonight. I'm gonna give everyone a deflation rundown. Show some examples of it on screen. Yeah, I had a funny conversation with a friend a couple of years ago. This was like, in like high school before any of us knew anything about anything serious. Where I suggested just as a joke that we go from an inflationary economy to a deflationary one, and he said that the reason, I'm still friends with this guy, and I don't hold this against him, even though it was kind of like not a very strong argument. He said that the reason that would be a bad thing is because people will hold on to their money and stop spending it because you have an incentive to not spend your money when it's going to be worth more tomorrow than it is today. And I remember thinking like, wow, that's such a strong argument against deflation. That would be a horrible thing. That would be a horrible thing if your savings is worth more tomorrow than it is today and people hold on to their money. Wouldn't we live in a worse society? I need to see some opinions in the chat. Would we live in a worse society if people had more of an incentive to stop buying Funko Pops and weed and hold on to their money? Yeah, I mean, I'm probably very undereducated on the topic, so I don't have like a serious opinion on deflation. I just thought that conversation was really funny. It's like, wow, real strong argument. You're really convincing me by saying that prices will go down over time instead of up. You're really convincing me that it's a bad thing. Yeah, but anyways, so we're just gonna move on here. I'll be showing some examples of deflation on the screen later. I have DeviantArt pulled up on my second monitor here. I'm gonna be pulling up some deflation examples. I'm trying to get the channel banned. This is how I'm gonna nuke the channel. All right, we got Allah Lover 1998. Allah Lover 1998 just says rape in the chat. How is it that people's messages were getting shadow banned on the last stream when they were just saying like innocent things, and then we get Allah Lover 1998 shows up and just says that one word and he's fine? This is preposterous. Oh man. I got people messaging me on Discord. I got people pinging me. Oh, Arg pinged me because he wants his rolls back. All right, here. You can have guest. I don't know what else you had. You can have guest. All right, now we got... Dude, you guys are going to get the chat terminated. There's not going to be a replay for this stream of the chat. It's just going to be... it's going to be sent to the realm. It's going to be gone. Oh, you even got Mingo participating. Poor innocent Mingo. Never said a slur in his life. Now he's dropping the dreaded R word in the Joe Biden podcast chat. What are you guys doing? Arg says Funko Pops are better than paying rent. That's a lot of people would agree with that. I think you have a lot of people on your side with that take. Oh, now we got people spamming emojis. Oh, this is a great chat. I'm really proud to say that you guys are my audience. A very peaceful group of people. I'm getting pinged on Discord again. This better not be Arg. Okay, it's Arg sending me a message saying that he was a janitor. Why would you tell me that, Arg? I would have hidden the shame if I were you. You were a Janny. Fine, I'll give it to you. I'm just gonna have to trust you on that because I don't actually know. But if I were you, I would have hidden the shame. That's a shameful thing to be a Discord Janny. Alright, well, so rest of the stream, like I said, I got a meme to show off. I'm going to be pulling that out later. And I also have a video that relates to 9/11 that I'm going to be playing when I have to take a pee. So, we're one day late. I was hoping that I could stream on 9/11, but no, things didn't work out. And today is a better day anyways, so I'm glad I'm streaming today. Because, these are sensitive times. 9/11, it's a sensitive holiday. You can't make fun of the Jews because they allegedly did 9/11. You can't make fun of the Syrians. You can't make fun of the British because, there was that podcast last year that claimed that the Queen did 9/11. I don't know what podcast that was. It might have been the Rubbish Rodents that claimed that the Queen did 9/11. So never forget that. So yeah, we're going to leave the British alone. We're going to leave the Jews alone. In fact, I'll compliment the Jews. I'll give the Jews something good for once. So I got a very good coupon for Goyslop this week, or this past couple of weeks. I've been getting rained on with coupons on Uber Eats for like really cheap food. And so I've been eating Goyslop like there's no tomorrow, and it has been dirt cheap. So I gotta hand it to the Jews for letting me eat plenty of slop for a pretty good price. After this experience, these past couple of weeks of being wined and dined by the mega corporation that I don't even know if they're actually Jewish owned, but BlackRock probably owns a good chunk of them, so they're part Jewish owned. So yeah, now I don't hate the Jews anymore. After that was all it took. They've been made fun of enough. I think that it's time that I retire my anti-Semitism. They let me eat good, and they also, they had a pretty rough time in the Bible. So I'll give them a break. They had those 2 strikes, so I'll give them a break. It's kind of a random thing to bring up, but I just remember a sermon that I got when I was at church a while ago, where it wasn't the whole sermon, obviously, but a part of the sermon was the pastor just talking about how, in a decent chunk of the Bible, like especially in the Old Testament, Israel was pretty much just like a failed group of people who were held together by their kings. And then like their kings weren't even that good. Like even King David wasn't that good. And then, later down the line, a couple generations down the line, they got, kings who are like killing all of their babies by burning them in a fire and sacrificing them to false gods. And it's like that, that's when the state really just like went into a tailspin was when that happened. So yeah, there's your history lesson on the Jewish people. All right, what are people saying about me in the chat? Never donated, gang. Yeah, I don't get any donations. Those go to artillery, that greedy Jew artillery. You want to see me ride a tricycle? Okay, maybe for the next stream thumbnail, in 2 months when I do my next stream, it'll be just the frog on like a tricycle, and then the title will be like, I don't know, living in the wrong reality or something like that. We hopped to a bad timeline where the only thing that's changed is the unicycle has turned into a tricycle, and then in parentheses, stream. That'll be the name of the next piece of content that appears on this channel. Yeah. So I guess we've been going for 20 minutes. So maybe it's about that time. Maybe it's about that time that I can pull up the meme that I made. Or I didn't make the entire thing. I only made a part of it. And the part that I made is going to get revealed to you later. I'm just going to reveal the part that I stole for now. But I promise that I did make some good stuff, some good original characters for you. And you'll understand what I mean by that when I reveal this spicy meme. So I hope that I set it up right before the stream and I don't accidentally show you the whole thing now. Okay, good. I didn't. So this is the meme, and as you can see, you can already see everything on the screen right now I just stole because I kind of thought it was funny, some of it at least. But as you can see, the tops of the heads, I have added 4 Wojaks to this Choose Your American list. So I'm giving you guys a tough decision today. Not only do you have these 8 original Americans up top here, but I will reveal, when the time is right, I will reveal the later Americans. Also, wait a second. We've been going for 30 minutes, not 20. I was looking at the wrong thing. Wow, time flies. Okay. So, we're going to start from the top. If you're not watching the podcast, you're just listening to it, don't worry. I got you. You should know by now. I'm very conscious of the people that don't have their eyes available to them at the current moment. That's the politically correct way of saying that you're blind. All right. So, first off, so I'll just summarize. This is a thing. It is a meme that says, "Choose Your American." We've already got people making fun of this in the chat. So saying, what is this? Yeah, I know it's not that good. Especially like the middle 4. They're not that good. But oh well, I'm going to go over it. We're going to go one at a time through this meme. So we're starting off with Ashley. So this is I guess I never explained. This is a list of Wojaks, and the Wojaks have names and they have descriptions. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to talk about the Wojak, and I'm going to say their name, and I'm going to read their description. And then I'm going to hopefully give some insight. So, Ashley is a farmer woman Wojak. Looks to be, some people would call her post-wall. uh, and I don't know, she doesn't look old. I'm just making fun. But the description says Twitch tradwife streamer curates a cottagecore Pinterest page and never seen a cow in real life. And I like this one because it hits close to home. You know, it's therapeutic. That's why I liked this, and I thought I would bring it up on the stream. It's therapeutic to point fun at these different caricatures of people that exist in society, you know, as us blokes here do, and we're just gonna make fun of them for a little bit. I gotta like do this in a way where I can see chat as well. All right, 1 second. All right, I think I got it. So, and you know, we got Ashley as the first one, and I want chat participation on this. Who picks Ashley and who doesn't? I want to see, but you know, this one is somewhat funny because it goes after a certain group of people. It's not going after trad people, obviously. It's going after the grifters and the people who, like, they see the trad lifestyle and they basically see it as like a kink. That's a good way to put it. Like they see the trad life and the trad wife life, and to them it is just like a fetish. And that to me is something that because of my own experiences, I find something like that to be somewhat disgusting. Which is why I like this meme that's making fun of it. I feel like I'm getting really, really deep here on something that is literally just a Twitter meme. But that's how it is, you know. You never know what can happen. But, you know, being like an actual trad wife is probably peak like femininity. I don't know. That's a way that people describe it. That's a way that I've heard a lot of women describe it. So I just take their word on it. But that's peak femininity. But, you know, surely peak innocence and purity that goes beyond what soulless grifters can provide for you. We got someone chiming in for Bella. We got a Bella simp. Let's go. I'll describe Bella later for the people who are just listening. But what I mean when I say what I just said is that I have met like a legit trad wife before. Definitely like several, but the most memorable experience that I had meeting and talking to someone who was like legitimately a devout traditional wife was that there was like an aura around them almost, where they had some amount of, it was social intelligence and charisma that I really couldn't put into words. Like it was definitely an experience that I remember really well, partly because it was at a political convention where I met this person. She was there with her husband, and I got to talk to her briefly. But yeah, there was something very, very nice about her, and about, you know, most of the people who I've met that could be described as like traditional wives. That, you know, when you look at the fakes, at the grifters, it really is not there. Like they're missing the social aspect of it and the charisma. They really are. And it, you know, beyond that, that's something that you can complain about. But it's also just gross to think that there are people who take this, you know, these women who I know and I've met who are very innocent, very pure, very, very good people, and they take their lifestyle and they strip everything away from it that makes it beautiful, and, you know, they clutch dearly to the hollow shell of what it once was, and they just see it as like a fetish. They're a degenerate coomer, and they want their next fetish, and so they go after the trad wives. And it becomes less of something that is actually meaningful and less of something that is actually, you know, valuable, and more of just a means to some kind of selfish materialistic end. And it's very dark. Like I know most people probably will make fun of me for looking into it that deeply, but that is how I've felt over the years, just pondering stuff randomly. Like I have a pretty harsh stance against people who do that, and it's not for, no reason. Anyways, let me take a sip of water here before we move on to our next American. We've got another American that we can check out here. Let me see. Have people left the stream? No, we have not dropped in viewers, so I guess people enjoy this. Let's go. So we got Samantha. Samantha is, she looks like she's carrying an AK-47. It's very small on my monitor right now, but that's what it looks like. And she just kind of looks like a black hair. She's wearing a military vest. That is Samantha. And Samantha's description says that her ideal date is at the gun range, and she would only mate with a man able to kill a bear with his bare hands. So there you go. Who picks Samantha? Who's a Samantha simp in the chat? Oh, Daft says, what is a political convention? Did I say convention? It was more of a conference. I guess it's kind of an important distinction. Yeah, no, it was definitely not a convention. It was a conference. But anyways. Yeah, I guess I should read chat real quick. People are simping for all the various women, so I kind of glazed my eyes over and didn't look at chat for a little bit. People are simping for all the various women. And Arg says rape. All right. Arg has made his intentions very clear. He didn't even give a name, so I just assume he wants to rape all of them. Stand up citizen Arg. Let's go. But for Samantha, I don't know, I feel like I know one girl. I know one girl who is kind of like this. And she's not very pleasant to be around. Like she's almost like the opposite of the trad wife, where it's like the trad wife is very like warm and welcoming. The girl that I know that is like Samantha is a very cold person. Like I haven't really spoken to her very much, and I've just always assumed that she hated me. Like I've just always assumed that she probably didn't like me for some reason. Like that's just the kind of person that she is, where like she just drives people away. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to say about Samantha, but now we move on. We move on to Jess. Now Jess is one of the more realistic. Yeah, we're still only on the second one. This is gonna take an hour. We're getting through all of them. No, not really. I'm planning on skipping the middle four, like the middle row, and just going to the ones that I made. Because I haven't revealed them yet. They're still there. You can see the tops of their heads. The Wojak chart stream. Yeah. Yeah, it's the Wojak inspection day stream. Get ready for more of this. We're going to go for 3 hours. I just have nothing but Wojaks lined up. We're going to go till the end of time. Go to Emily. Okay, we'll talk about Emily. I'll talk about all of them briefly. But we have Jess next. So Jess is a very realistic one, because she looks like a frumpy like college girl, and she has $150,000 worth of student debt for a queer theatric performance research degree, and she is a Starbucks barista. Come on, you guys are distracting me. I'm trying to read, and it's you guys are roasting me in the chat. Anyways, yeah, it still amazes me that there are still people in the current year who are like going to college for useless degrees. Because I thought that was like a dead meme at this point. Like I thought that most people understood by now that college was worthless. And then I talked to someone the other day who was like, oh yeah, I'm like going to college for a writing degree. And it wasn't like a community college. Like they're going to a legit university to get a writing degree. And I was like, oh my God, how are people still falling for this? And I guess the fact that it's still happening, that people are still doing this, just proves that maybe there is something that's predatory about these this system. And I've definitely talked about this before, but they are going after people who are too young. It's comparable to grooming. How about I just go all the way? How about I just say that the current system of everyone in your life for your entire childhood telling you to go to college, that is grooming. How about we just start saying that? How about we call it what it is? Because it's really ridiculous. And I kind of feel lucky that I never wanted to go to college. Because my reasoning for not wanting to go to college is kind of funny. It's mostly out of laziness and whatnot. But I remember kind of shaking off a lot of the conditioning, so to say. You could call it that. Because when I was in kindergarten, my kindergarten teacher told me, or she told the whole class just one day, I don't remember why, about she briefly described what it was like going to college, probably because someone asked her. And I remember her description of college, basically scared me. And anytime anyone told me, oh, you got to go to college and get a job, I'm like, nope. I remember the horror story that was my kindergarten teacher's college experience. And that legit stuck with me. And it wasn't even that bad. She just said oh yeah, there's lots of homework. And I remember she said that she had to carry around tons and tons of textbooks, stuff like that. She tried to describe it in a way that would sound interesting and cool, but I just found it scary. So, yeah, now I'm a podcast host with 6 viewers. Yeah. At least I'm not a podcast host with 6 viewers with a writing degree. I'd much rather be in my current position than my current position plus a writing degree. I think I'm doing better than most people. But yeah, I guess the last thing I'll say is that an alternative to consider, an alternative to grooming kids into going to college. Yeah, Galvarino brings up a good point. People are unironically prepared and groomed to go to college. Yeah. And I understand the reasoning why, but it's pretty messed up when you're oh yeah, there's all these good things about college. It's so good. And then the thing that's never mentioned is, oh yeah, you're going to be stuck with this debt for the rest of your life. You can never bankrupt out of it. You can bankrupt out of almost any debt except for college debt. It will never go away. It'll follow you around until you pay it off. And chances are, unless you pay it off really quickly, then the number is just going to rise because of interest. The next Republican debate is being held in my state. Maybe I'll show up. Maybe I'll run on stage. I'll grab the mic and I'll say subscribe to Garbage Mice. That'll get the channel some attention. How about that? Yeah, the chart is a W. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. It's kind of fun to just go on and ramble about various things. And like I said earlier, it's therapeutic to point fun at these people because they do exist. And if you're not a pathological person, you probably hate them. Podcasting at the Republican debate. Yeah, I'm going to bring my streaming setup and set it up on stage and do the podcast. I'm going to be loudly interrupting the debate. I'm trying to talk about the Jews. I'm guys, look at this meme about 9/11. And then it blares out my computer speakers in the middle of the debate. It's like someone yelling Allah Akbar and then an explosion. Red Sante for president. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, the point that I've been trying to get to for hours is that if you want to go to college, we should be teaching people that if you want to go to college, you can very easily do it later in life. Because I know a lot of people, it's not uncommon for people to think, Mic cut off? Am I good? Is my mic good? It looks fine to me. Yeah. I'll try to talk, or I'll lower my volume a little bit. I think I did like clip my mic a bunch, and that's why it might have cut out. Yeah, sorry about that. It does look like it's working though, so. So anyways, yeah. You know, if you want to go to college, you can do it later in life, and you can. Is my mic actually not working? Okay, Bagel says that you can hear me, so I'm gonna trust Bagel. Bagel is my right-hand man. I can trust Bagel above all of you. Yeah. Go to college later in life. I'm moving on. We're talking about Bella now. People were simping for Bella earlier. So we're gonna talk about Bella. Bella is apparently a fan favorite. Bella, whoop. I almost just ended the stream. I almost just ended the stream. Wow, that would have been great. Oh man, would have been a fantastic ending to the stream. All right. So we got like an hour left of talking about Wojaks. I better chip away at it slowly. We got Bella. Bella is a Wojak that is covered in tattoos with an American flag shirt and a camo hat. This is a real American patriot right here. You don't want to pass this one up. You want to get Bella while she's still available. You know, there aren't many of her. If you want your life to be a living reenactment of Trailer Park Boys, then this is the chance for you, boy. Everybody get your Bella today, only $9.99. You know, or you can get a free Bella if you go to like a trailer park with a window sunroof, like a house window that's installed into your roof, like in Trailer Park Boys. You can get yourself a Bella for free. But if you can't do that, I will sell you one. I probably should not be saying that I will sell you a woman. That's probably not the kind of thing that I want on recording. But yeah, I didn't even mention, she lives in a trailer park, she shoplifts to pay for her tattoos, and she puts meth in her coffee. So you guys definitely want Bella. Bella is going to be a high demand, low quantity, low supply item. Pick up your Bella today. How much? Yeah, $9.99 Red Sante coins. 9.99 Red Sante coins, you can have one. I'm not going to tell you where she is, though. You have to go find her yourself. And she doesn't know you're coming. She doesn't know that you're on the way. So it's going to be quite a game for you. That's how I'm able to sell them for so cheaply. I don't know where they are, so no overhead cost for storage. And I don't have to get a legal servicer to legally notify them that someone is coming to collect their purchase. That's how I'm able to cut so much money off the cost of one Bella. All right, people are simping for Emmeline. Emmeline, it seems to be the fan favorite so far. So Emmeline looks like a probably post-wall Wojak. Looks like she could have been a trad wife, but picked the wrong route. She's wearing a suit and some pearls. And she is a nepotism baby. She's a product of nepotism. She owns her own PR firm and works an hour a day and lives between the Hamptons and Montana. When will Lil Pizza Box come back? I don't know. He can't tell us. So we don't know. Like I think that he is able to like access Discord, but I don't know how much he can really do. So we don't know what's going on with him. Yeah, he's not online right now, so But anyways, so Emily is the standard. Could have been a trad wife, but didn't. So womp womp for her. That's too bad. She could have had it all, but she picked the wrong route. You're not tuning in until Little Pizza Box is on. Dude, Little Pizza Box is like legit in the trenches. Like we do not know where Little Pizza Box is. So I guess if the podcast hinges on Little Pizza Box, or if your retained viewership hinges on Little Pizza Box being here, then I might see you in like 2 years. Yeah, I'll see you in the chat again then. Little Pizza Box is the reason you still pay taxes. Oh, I guess he's doing his job then. He is a glowy. But all right, moving on to Liz. We're slowly making our way down. We got Liz. Liz is a very, very strong Wojak. very, very muscular female Wojak. Female empowered. You know, all the buzzwords. And she uses her empowerment and the power that she was gifted to deadlift so heavy that she pees on the floor, record her workouts with a tripod, probably for TikTok and whatnot. And then she definitely does not use steroids. Anything else to say about Liz? I don't think there's any insight that I... Can I give some deep insight on Liz? Daft iCup has a question for me. Yeah, hit me with your question. Is Bicycle Red Sante the Red Sante that went to college instead of crypto? Yeah. Is the unicycle couldn't make it all the way to college. I never learned how to ride the unicycle. The bicycle's way easier. Mango, can we do a gooning session to these attractive, of age, alive, consenting, non-related, mostly cisgendered women? Yeah, we can do one of those. It'll be in the voice chat after this. Yeah, after I cut the stream. Everyone who wants to join Mingo for a gooning session can do that in the voice chat. Do I believe in black people? It's kind of hard to tell with how good holograms are. It's pretty hard to tell. You know, I've never tried to like stick my hand like through, you know how you can like stick your hand through a hologram and it comes out the other side. I've never tried to do that to a black person. So I actually don't know if they're holograms or not. I should probably try that though. All right, we got Cheryl, the next one up. Yeah, she just looks like a corporate woman. She looks like Skylar from Breaking Bad. I just noticed that. That might actually be like based off of her now that I'm thinking about it. That's a pretty strong similarity. Climbed the corporate ladder by murdering people. Yeah. I don't know, that one's not that good. And then at least of the default ones, we got my favorite. Last one, Luna. Luna looks like a mess. She looks like an emotional wreck. She does not look good. Couch says, when will the Red Sante OnlyFans come out? I'll have to think about that one. I'll have to come up with some creative videos to put on my OnlyFans before I open it to the public. My name is Skylar White, yo. Quit selling weed to my husband, yo. Yeah, you tried to tackle your black friend and you went through him. Well, that's a good one. I guess it's good that we have Arg here. So I would have never known. I would have had to go out and try it. Now I can save the time. I'm just going to trust you, Arg, that you're not making that up. You broke your spine. Is that how you got banned from Discord? You broke your spine and then you posted the video? And the Discord mods didn't like it. I'm just gonna assume that's what happened. But anyways, so Luna. First 3 words. This instantly won me over. This melted my heart. The moment I saw it, this won me over. Has a podcast. That got me. It's like, yo, we got a woman with a podcast. We got to get her on. I'm gonna go out and find Luna, and Luna is going to be joining me for the next stream. A fellow podcaster. So yeah, that's a major W for the Garbage Mice future. We are going to have this woman on. So now it's time for the moment of truth. It's time that I reveal the 4 that I made. So here we go. Let me maneuver through my OBS here. Oh, I almost just showed something. I almost just showed the 9/11 clip that I'm saving for my pee break. I do have a spicy 9/11 clip that I'm gonna be playing. It's a first-person footage from the plane on 9/11. Trust me, I'm not exaggerating at all. So, woman on a podcast is worse than Holocaust torture tactics. Yeah. Well, you better get used to being tortured because I'm getting this woman on the podcast. New content hype. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to show it. Here, I got to do some trickery here. Whoop. There we go. Hold on. I'll make it bigger for you guys. There we go. There's your new content. There's your new content drop. So I'm going to go through all of these. These are custom made, original. Well, not the drawings of the Wojaks. I stole those, but everything else. Except 2 of these are original, somewhat Wojaks. The first and the last are somewhat original Wojaks. So we're gonna go through these. We're gonna dissect them one by one. So we got the glowy GF. We got the glowy GF first. If you want your glow wife, well, first of all, before I talk about the glowy, I have to address some allegations. So I was accused a lot of trying to steal Emperor Lemon's style on the last stream, and that was completely unintentional that I made the glowy green. I made the Tradwife green. I turned her from whatever color she was before to green in true Emp Lemon fashion. And so I just want to address that early on, that I will not be tolerating any Emp Lemon allegations, because that was totally unintentional. I did not mean to hue shift the Tradwife by 44 degrees and turn her green, just like my hero, my personal hero, Emp Lemon. Yeah, I will not tolerate any Emp Lemon skinwalking allegations. All right, I gotta get that out of the way. Can we get Emp on the podcast? That would be nice to talk to Emp. That would be kind of cool. Like, I wouldn't even care about like the views I'd get from it. Like, I don't care about any of that. I just want to talk to Emp. That would be cool. But anyways, so there are, I gotta address this first of all. There's probably going to be a lot of glowy simps. There's going to be some hot competition for the glowy, because there are a lot of upsides to the glowy. There are a lot. First off, you got that 20-year pension. She has a 20-year pension. So she will be able to keep you neck deep in chicken tenders and Pepsi and whatever you want for the rest of your neat life. You can retire off of the glowy's 20-year pension. So that's one major bonus about the glowy. And then she has an unlimited supply of Fed posts, top tier Fed posts and racist memes. She's got that on tap. She's got 6 million. Yeah, you got it right. She's got 6 million Fed posts sitting in a hard drive somewhere. So that's yet another upside to the glowy. if anyone can name a downside to dating a glowy, I'd love to hear. I can't think of any. And then, third upside. She loves listening to your podcast episodes. She loves scanning through them and just listening very, very closely. That's a great thing for me because I make a podcast. I don't know if anyone noticed that. I do a podcast. It's called the Joe Biden Podcast. I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. So, that's great that she would want to listen to my podcast. Then, last but not least is your first date with her will be at a BLM riot. That just sounds like a wonderful time to me, doesn't it? Doesn't it, guys? Oh, sorry. I'm getting congested just thinking about this. I'm tearing up at how sweet the glowy is. Getting lost in her glowing eyes. Can't handle it, man. All right, moving on from the glowy. Downside, 20 years in prison for conspiracy to commit terrorism. Yeah, okay. You have a good point there, Arg. This is why we keep Arg around. This is why I haven't banned him yet. Arg has deep insight as to why you should not date an employee of the federal government. Why are the Red Santes green? We were born that way. You can't be racist towards me because I was born green. That is not acceptable. Yeah, I got the Walter White lungs. I've been smoking too much asbestos. You know how they used to deliver like milk in bottles to people's doorsteps a long time ago? They still do that, but it's just asbestos. And we smoke the fat asbestos bottles. Like we just hold them like cigars. You chop off the end of the bottle just like a cigar, and you just smoke the big ass asbestos doink. You sit on your front porch all day and do that. That's why I sound like I do. Okay, we're moving on. Next we got Asian Girl, which that's her name legally. They messed up at the immigration office. They messed up at the immigration office. They accidentally swapped the name and the description boxes. So now that's just her name, and her description says, "Will pretend to be underage and then get mad at you for not being a pedophile. Will share her SSRIs, and her parents buy her a Tesla, and she tries to put gas in it." So those are the descripting factors of the Asian Girl. And I'll tell you a fun fact about the Asian Girl meme here. I literally just made this as a way of like venting about things that I have actually seen. That's the secret with the Asian Girl. All these 3 points are things that I have actually seen happen. Except for the last one. The last one is exaggerated. I've not seen someone try to put gas in a Tesla. But the story behind that is that I this was like a long time ago when I like first started driving pretty much. I went to a gas station to fill up, and some Asian woman pulled up to the pump next to mine in it was definitely like a brand new car. Like I think that it was like literally right off the lot. Like she drove it from the lot to that gas station. It was brand spanking new. And it looked like it must have cost like $100,000. It was a Mercedes SUV, and it looked really nice. And she didn't understand how to put gas in it. Like, I always find that so funny. She bought a $100,000 car and did not know how to put gas in it. And she ended up putting diesel in her car. So the brand new $100,000 Mercedes, she puts diesel in it, and she has to like call a tow truck, and she doesn't speak enough English to call a tow truck. So that is something that I have actually witnessed. And then sharing SSRIs, yeah, that was just like common in high school. People would share SSRIs. I don't know why. Like people were literally that retarded that they tried to like share each other's SSRIs and get high off of them. and then they pretending to be underage. Yeah, that happened, thankfully not to me, thank God, but it happened to someone at a 4th of July party last year. Some guy, he like talked to a girl, and I guess she didn't like him, so she lied and said she was underage, and then she changed her mind and actually like wanted to continue talking to him. And so she tried to convince him that she had lied, and he just didn't believe her. So yeah, that is me just venting about my personal woes growing up in the land of the lost in the current year. Yeah, common. I guess not as common as like weed, but yeah, people did it. Yeah. Imagine lying about your age. Yeah. I tried to say that I was 55 once to a. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. That's not true. Yeah, I guess we can move on to the next American option. Notice how I did not say the next woman option. I said the next American option on the list is Toot. Toot is the world record holder for the most gamer words said. Likely, probably. I think that we can all just agree to give Toot the award. If there's someone out there who has said more gamer words than Toot, I do not want to meet them. Would probably choose to date Mumkey Jones rather than you. That's probably true. And good clickbait. That's definitely true. We clickbaited Toot and we got like 700 views. So, yeah. Not much more to say about Toot. If you're unaware of Toot, if you're listening to this and you don't know who Toot is, I'm not going to take the time to explain. Arg has beaten Toot. Okay. I stand corrected. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I'm proud of you. It's a very good achievement. All right. The last but not least, the last American that you have to choose from on this list, the one and the only Red Sante's sister. The one and the only. So, Red Sante's sister may or may not exist. It has yet to be confirmed. It is, can I hit up Solid JJ? I think we still have like a means of contacting him. He's still in a different server. Like we created a different Discord server just for talking to him, and he might still be in there. But I don't know why. Dude, we got more views from clickbaiting Toot than we did Solid JJ. And it was like not even close. It was like we got like triple the views clickbaiting a real quote unquote real woman, not really, on the Garbage Mice than a YouTuber that had 600,000 subscribers. Yeah, he definitely does not associate with the mice anymore. I don't think he was too happy to well, no, I shouldn't say that. He seemed like he was genuine, like after the podcast ended when he said that he had a good time, because there were a lot of funny moments, but he definitely wanted a lot of stuff edited out, and we didn't fulfill every request. Like, there were some things that he wanted cut out that we didn't cut out. But don't worry, you didn't miss out on anything, I don't think. I think that all the stuff we cut out, we just edited into the after show. Like we did a Solid JJ after show, and we put all the cut out stuff in there. So you didn't miss anything if you listened to those. Yeah, so it has yet to be confirmed whether or not Red Sante's sister exists. Okay. I'll give you the truth. I'll give you the truth about Red Sante's sister. She exists, but when I take the pills, she goes away. Like, she's definitely real, but whenever I take my schizo meds, she goes away. That's the problem. it's very hard to convince her or it's hard to convince people that she's real, because every time I take the meds, she goes away. And everyone else who has my condition, you know, they're just on meds constantly. So they never see her like I do. So that's the problem. And, you know, Red Sante's sister needs therapy after years of hearing schizophrenic podcast takes echoing throughout her house. That is true. That is not a joke. I am paying out of pocket $400 an hour for the best therapist in the world to remove the billowing sounds of my voice talking about the Jews. And so if you subscribe to the Patreon, you can pay for my sister's therapy. How about that? Oh, sorry, I'm Walter Whiting right now, coughing a lot. And then Red Sante's sister, it's kind of hard to communicate with her because she only speaks using out of context garbage mice references because of Stockholm syndrome. That's the reasoning. That's what the doctor said. So there you go. Let me get the full, I'll put the image back. Hold on a second. Reset. Okay, there we go. And then I'll center it to make it easier on your eyes. Whoops. Oh. Hold on. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now you can choose. All right, final count. This is the final count. There's not going to be any rigging. Everyone put it in the chat. You have one last opportunity to simp for one of these women. By the way, I forgot, with Red Sante's sister, there is a hidden point that I didn't put on there, that you're going to have to fight Arg if you want to choose Red Sante's sister. Arg is the #1 white knight, the #1 simp for the allegedly real Red Sante's sister. Am I vaccinated? No. I worked at a place that didn't require the vaccine until I quit to trade crypto. And every job I've had since then has not required it, so I don't have it. I can't even, I think the last time I got a vaccine was like when I went to Mexico, and that was like 10 years ago at this point. That was so long ago. I got the tetanus shot. So no, it's been quite a while since I've had a vaccine. Anyways, I'll leave all the women up on screen for another minute or two. We'll figure out where we're gonna go from here. It's kind of hard to top that segment. It's hard to top the Choose Your American segment. That was a good one. That's gonna go down in the books as an all-time classic. Oh man, oh, I'm coughing so much. For tetanus, yeah. You have to get vaccinated for tetanus to go to Mexico. But that was the only one I had to get. Like it was just the tetanus shot. Oh, Arg put a loading thing. Are you getting DDoSed, Arg? Is that what's going on? People are spamming emojis in the chat. Here, I'll spam one too. I'll put 100. I'm spamming 100 emojis. Can you guys see that? Oh man. My throat is dying here. What happened? Maybe I got blacked and I never realized. Why would I get vaccinated for Tetris? You have to get vaccinated to play Tetris. You know, if you have a Nintendo Switch and you try to play Tetris, then you have to like scan your vaccine passport before you can play Tetris. Oh man, I'm like chugging water here, trying to get my throat to clear out. Maybe I really do have lung cancer. All right, I guess get your last look at the girls. I'll move them around for you. I'll hypnotize you. Here, we're gonna do this. Oh, I guess one last. We got a bonus girl. One last. I'm gonna hide that. I'm gonna zoom in here. This is the bonus girl. Dr. Waifu. This is Dr. Waifu. We got one girl left that you can simp for. And it's her. I guess the upside or the description of her would be is she can vaccinate you whenever you want. So if you're ever feeling, a little sad, a little anxious, a little depressed, you can get the vaccine and it'll numb you out. It'll just make you a zombie like Joe Biden and you won't feel any pain anymore ever again. That's the good thing about her. And then other than that, I guess she wears a mask all day, so when her face gets old and ugly, you won't be able to see it. When she hits the wall, you'll never know. Yeah, I guess I'll put this back to where it was. If I reset it, will that work? Yep, there we go. Now you can see the needle going into Joe Biden's arm again. Yes, Mingo, that's correct. She can make you Joe Biden. Is that not a very unique, very desirable trait in a woman? That she can make you Joe? It can really be Jover for you? Is that not a desirable trait? Oh, yeah, good point. Good point, Mingo. She makes 50% less than the male doctors because of the gender pay gap. So yeah, she can't keep you neck deep in tendies like the glowy girl can. Yeah, Joe Sante Biden. That's my name. Daft got it right. Anyways, what am I going to talk about here? I'm going off the cuff. I'm freestyling. Yeah, nothing planned. No plans. I'll never have any plans. I'm just going to make fun of women forever. That's not a bad idea. Let's make fun of women. What can I make fun of women for? Like, I guess I can't really just like make fun of all of them. You got to pick a specific group, which, Here's what I'll do. I guess this is probably like literally the most incel take that I have. I'll drop it on you guys. That I think pretty negatively of like loose women because of the experiences or the encounters, I guess I should say, that I've had with them. I'm not talking like not in the way you're thinking, but just like being friends with them over the years, like having women in my friend groups who have been like whores, basically. That has probably like radicalized me against like loose women, because it's pretty brutal. Like the way that they treat like their boyfriends and just men in general, it is so cold and so bleak that it just made me hate them. And that's definitely like an incel thing to say. Like that's what like women accuse incels of doing all the time. It's like, oh, you had one bad experience with a girl and now you hate all of them. It's like, yeah, that's how I feel about loose women. Like I've known several over the years, and I just thought that they were so awful that I don't like any of them. And I guess the one that I can kind of talk about, even though I still know her, I'm 1,000% sure that she'll never hear this. Like I've known her for a while, and I remember that she started dating this guy like years ago, and she came across to me at the time, like a long time ago, to be like a good like basically a future trad wife. Like She was a Christian. She said that she wanted kids, and she was dating for marriage. And she started dating this guy, and she was planning on marrying him. And then they broke up. And she, for about 2 years or so, proceeded to have like the biggest hoe phase that has ever existed in the history of the world. like she like ran through so many guys and racked up like, you know, well into the double digits. You know, that she had a moment. She racked up her number pretty high. And then you know, that's not necessarily the worst part. You know, the bad part was she eventually got back with that original boyfriend. And I know for a fact that to this day, she is actively lying and actively trying to cover up her history. Like those 2 years where she went out and got wild, she is actively trying to hide that from him. And I still see her and that guy on occasion. And it's like, you know, if he were like a closer friend of mine, like if he were a really good friend of mine, I'd tell him. But the dynamic that we have is not really one that where I feel like I should. Like it's definitely something that he should know, but I don't know if I'm the person that should tell him. And like there are definitely other people who do know that are closer friends with him who aren't telling him. So it's a pretty brutal situation. Yeah, Red Dog Richard isn't here. Yeah, he's never here for the streams because I do them at like, you know, -o'clock his time. So yeah, that's the complain about women segment. I guess I should say like a positive thing about women too. If I'm gonna complain about them, I guess I'll do that. Yeah. All right, here's what I'll do, just because this came to mind first. I'll also say like a negative thing about men. We're gonna give equal treatment here. You know, I think it's very common. This is a negative thing about us boys. You know, the boys here, all of you listening. I'm about to shit talk all of you. But it's a very common thing in like red pill kind of spaces, and like the Andrew Tate kind of realms of speech and of thought and of ideas to say, and they're not wrong when they say this, to say that women don't know what they want, or no, sorry, women don't know what men want. That's not a very hot take. I think a lot of people just kind of agree with that. A lot of men agree with that. That women don't know what men want, and that's why like a big chunk of them are just never going to be like dateable. Like they're pretty much doomed to be forever alone because they never learned like how to date men, basically. Like they never got that far down the line. It was always just like, you know, a month-long relationship here, a month-long there. And then once they stopped being pretty, Daft doesn't agree. If you actually don't agree, then you know, like try to type something up, but I get the feeling you're joking. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but yeah, I was gonna say that in a lot of ways, men really aren't any different. Like we also don't really know what women want. Like a lot of guys are still at like the base level where like there's a lot of stuff that they haven't figured out that, you know, to women they think is obvious. You got something to say about that? Okay. Maybe I'll open up the voice channel or something, or I'll hop in the voice channel later. I'm just gonna go until I run out of stuff, and then maybe I'll do that if I'm not too tired in like a half hour or whatever. But yeah, what was I even saying? But yeah, I was saying that men also have that issue where a lot of men don't know what women want. And I could give that example, or the example of this was like a thing that I talked to a bunch of girls about a while ago, where it's like most guys don't have the answer to the question, like what does creepy mean? Like if a girl calls you creepy, which that was a question that like really bothered me for a long time because it didn't make any sense. But you know, like most people think that it's just like a catch-all term for everyone who isn't like Prince Charming. Like that's the way that most people just interpret it. But you know, most people just don't know. But I asked a couple of girls a while ago, like, what does this actually mean? Because I just didn't know. Which it was kind of weird to ask them that. Like we're hanging out like as a group at like a park, and you know there's like downtime in the conversations. So I like pull one aside, like, hey, I got a weird question for you. I don't know. But I got several different answers. You know, obviously I got pretty different answers from everyone I asked. And the common theme among the answers is that they basically don't like it when men try to manipulate them. Like and you know, most guys don't even know that that's what they're doing. Like when you go up to a girl and you have like a thing prepared, like a speech prepared of like, oh, I'm going to say this to her and that's going to get this reaction. That is in a way manipulative, and women take a lot of offense to that. And this is something that I think most men just don't understand. Like it's something good to know. And I think the best answer that I got, this was like over a year ago that this happened, so I'm really trying to remember what this one girl said. But she said that friendship is something that's very important to women. Like that's basically what she said. And a lot of guys that have poor social skills don't know how to be good friends, and they don't know how to make friends. And when you try to skip that phase of, you know, you become friends with her first and then things move on from there, that is what most, or not most, or at least she and apparently other women as well define as creepy, is like, oh, you're not trying to be my friend. You're just trying to, you know, skip that whole part and get to the part that you want. And, you know, she said, you have to learn how to be a good friend before you can learn how to be a good boyfriend. And then my follow-up question to her was, would you agree that you have to, you know, learn how to make friends before you can learn how to make girlfriends? You know, kind of awkwardly worded, but I remember that's how I said it. And she pretty much agreed with me. And, you know, maybe not all women would agree with that answer, but it made a lot of sense to me. Because, you know, it is very true that not a lot of people are good at making friends nowadays. Like a lot of people that have friends made their friends during like school when they were forced to spend hours and hours and hours every day with the same people. You know, that's a good way to make friends, is like spend all day every day just talking to the same group of people. And, you know, beyond that, people don't know anything about how to make friends. You know, beyond that, it's like, oh, I went to high school and I made a bunch of friends just by accident. And now, you know, I'm not in high school anymore. I'm not in college anymore. I'm not partying. So it's like, oh, well, what do I do? and even in college, like people don't really make friends in college because you know, at least in high school, you are kind of, you know, it's not as easy to just get like caught up in like drugs and alcohol, even though I know people do. It's not as easy or as common probably as college, where you're actually like old enough to buy it. So a lot of people in college, you know, their only form of bonding with whatever friends that they make is that they just drink all day together, or like they party together, and that's their bonding. So there isn't much to the friendship just beyond that. It's like a lot of people, you know, that is just the case for them, that their closest friends are just like the people that they met in high school. And beyond that, they don't know how to make good friends. A man being in a platonic relationship with a woman, like, yeah, being in like a friendship relationship with a woman, not possible. I mean, in like group settings, that's usually when it happens. Like, you know, a woman like tags along with the friend group. Yeah. Anyways, we can move on here. I'm dropping viewers. Nobody wants to hear me say bad things about men. I've alienated my male audience. We're dropping off here. This is not good. This is not good for the Garbage Mice investors. They're not going to be happy with me. All right, let me drink some more water here. I got to drink enough water that I have to pee so that I can play the 9/11 clip. Your comment got filtered. Yeah, I really should just like, I should make a channel in the Discord. I'm doing this right now. If you tab into the Discord right now, you will see this happen. I'm making a channel for like stream chat. Live stream chat. There we go. This is for people who want to talk on stream, but their messages get deleted. There you go. Speak freely. The first message in the channel is just rape from Daft Gator. Oh, that's good. Oh, this channel was a good idea just for that. But yeah, that's staying up. So if you feel like your comments are not getting read, I only have 2 monitors, so I don't know how I'm gonna like keep this one up as well, but I'll try to check this occasionally. So yeah, that exists now. Everyone should have access to it. It looks like everyone has access to it. Yep. Cool. This is better than the, yeah, I guess it is better than the YouTube chat. I guess at least YouTube filters that out. Arg. But no, that's funny. I'm glad that you can speak your gamer words freely. That is kind of funny. Oh man, now everyone is going to use this and I'll have to have 2 chats open. All right. I guess I'll figure that out. I'll have to have 2 chats open somehow. For now, I'm just going to be primarily looking at the YouTube one. I'll figure out how to get the Discord one pulled up easier. I'll figure that out by next stream. Yeah. Actually, for the next little bit here, I'll tell you guys about something. I'll tell you about an idea that I had. Also, it's crazy we've been going for an hour and a half. This has not felt like an hour and a half. This has gone by quickly. Way better than the last stream. I'll say that, way better. I'm feeling a lot better too. Like I really should have not gone live for the last stream, like the last live stream 3 weeks ago, whenever that was. Because I did not really feel that good that night, but I did it anyways because I wanted to fit the theme of the hurricane bunker. It wouldn't have made sense to do it like the next day. So I forced myself to do that on that night. I really should have waited till the next night. I just wasn't feeling good that night. It wasn't that good, but I'm feeling a lot better now. All right, the YouTube chat is now just completely dead. I have to look at the Discord chat. All right. Here, you guys try to use the YouTube one. That's the one I'm going to have pulled up for now. If you really want to use the Discord one because you're like getting sent to the Shadow Realm, that's fine. I'll check it later, but yeah, try to use the YouTube one. Anyways, yeah, I was going to tell you. So I have an idea for a stream that I think I want to do sometime in the future. Also, thank you for the nice comment, Mingo. But I think I eventually want to do a stream where I cover a couple of true crime cases. I don't know, just an idea that I had, and I think I could make it somewhat interesting. I don't know how, but I think I could. I'll come up with something, because I have a lot of crimes that I really like. You know, that's a really funny way to phrase it, but yeah, I have a lot of crimes I really like. Everyone in the chat, shout out your favorite crime. Shout out your favorite crime, everybody. You get bonus points for being an anti-Semite, Discord grooming, and you get bonus points for perjury. Just don't tell the glowy girl about your perjury, or any of your crimes for that matter. Man, now I'm getting tons of pings in Discord. Okay, thank you, Arg. Yeah. Oh, everyone's saying rape. I did not see that one coming. Everyone is saying rape is their favorite crime. Oh, that's great. You know, if you're not from America, if you're from like Britain, you can just say that your favorite crime is like ownership and operation of a butter knife, something like that. Man, that wasn't a good joke. That's a bit overused. That's an overused joke. Sorry about that one. I failed you guys. I don't know anything about the British people though. Like that's literally all I know. I've never been taught anything about the British people other than like the negative stereotypes that have just been like thrust upon me. Like I know that British people, they have like fucked up teeth. They worship their dead queen, and they are forced at gunpoint to pay for cable television by the government. That's all I know about British people. I have never been taught anything else. The American education system has definitely done its job in demonizing the British as much as humanly possible, because I don't know anything good about them. Yeah, so my favorite crime. Yeah, people are shouting out crimes in the chat. Let's go. We got our favorite crimes. But no, I think my favorite crime is probably the Gary Ploush shooting. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, it's the really famous video of the guy who, like, basically his son got kidnapped by a pedophile. This guy Gary, his son got kidnapped. And I think the pedophile, fun fact, the place where the pedophile got busted was like pretty close to where I live. You know, not that close, but like within driving distance. So you know, I could visit the site where this guy got scooped up. And you know, the pedophile and the kid get flown back to Louisiana. And then Gary is waiting for them in the airport, and he just like swings around and pops the pedophile in the face with a gun, just right there in the airport. And there's a video of him doing it. And the funniest part is they gave him community service for that. They gave this guy community service. The state of Louisiana gave this man like 60 days service for shooting and killing a guy in an airport on camera in front of like multiple police officers. And then my other favorite part of the crime is just one of the officers, I guess, knew who Gary was. And so after he shoots the pedophile, one of the guys just goes, "Why, Gary? Why? Why, Gary?" It's like, man, you know why. Come on, officer, you know why. So yeah, that would be really funny to do a true crime stream, because an idea that I had was oh my, sorry dude, I'm dying right now, was I don't know how easy this would be to pull off, but I might be able to go to the local courthouse and get the case file for the case that I was almost a juror on. I talked about that earlier this year, where I was I didn't get selected for the jury, but I made it like pretty far through jury selection before the district attorney let me go. And I should, in theory, be able to just go to the court and get the file for the case and then get like all the interrogation footage and all that. And I could cover that case. Because it was 2 guys who like apparently kidnapped somebody. Like kidnapped them at gunpoint. And I actually don't know if they were guilty or not. I wasn't able to find anything about the case. Like I looked up the guys' names in like a couple weeks after the trial was supposed to have concluded. I couldn't find anything on them. So I actually don't know the outcome of the trial. Yeah, it wouldn't be like, you know, I wouldn't be going into like psychologist mode and trying to like, oh, that guy blinked twice. That means he's innocent. Oh, no, it would just be me like making fun of the guys and like trying to find funny moments in the footage to show you. Yeah, I don't know who that is, Mingo, but I'm just gonna assume that you cracked the case. It was probably whoever you're talking about. Yeah, so that would be funny potentially to do a true crimes, yeah, true crime stream. Like I could title it. Here's what I'll do. I'll title it just "Why Gary Why." That'll just be the title of the stream is "Why Gary Why," and then the thumbnail will be just like a zoomed in picture of Gary shooting the pedophile. That'll be the name and the thumbnail for the stream. I already have it all planned out. The picture, it will be like an uncensored image of a pedophile getting his head blown off, and it'll appear on YouTube. Yeah, then you guys can you can listen to me talk about crimes for like hours. I don't know, that might get depressing pretty quickly. I went on like a true crime binge like maybe last year where I dug up like a bunch of old Jim Can't Swim videos. Like there's an archive of all of his deleted videos. I dug all those up and watched all of them. That was brutal, man. Like there's the case of those 2 people who they were like related somehow. Like it was a couple, like a girlfriend and a boyfriend, who like kidnapped the guy's sister and then like sawed her up into pieces. It was like the case of Becky Watts, I think was her name. That was a hard video to sit through. Like I was like legit depressed after watching that video. Me playing Overwatch 2 with Cyrax. I do play Overwatch 2, but I've never done it with Cyrax. So, that's something that'll have to happen one day, maybe. Just kidding. I shouldn't even say as a joke that I want anything to do with Cyrax. I do not want to talk to Cyrax. You can't send GIFs in the YouTube chat, yeah. Yeah, there's some fiery GIFs being sent in the Discord chat. There's an Elliot Rodger gift and PewDiePie playing PUBG. Oh, thank you, Bagel. Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate that. Yeah. We've been going for how long now? Oh man, an hour 45 minutes. I'll try to go for a little longer. I don't know what else I can ramble about. I've ran out of funny stuff, so it's gonna be more serious if I try to go any further than this. I'll talk about, I don't know. I'll talk about my plan to take over the true crime genre. I'll play the social media game. I'm gonna take over. Yeah. I'll do the social media lottery. That's what I like to call it. That was something that I was talking to a friend about a while ago. we were talking about social media, and that was a term he used, was the social media lottery. And it's like, oh, wow. It's kind of an insightful term that actually describes it really well. Because it is definitely comparable to the lottery in the way that it's relatively low risk to try to be like a social media influencer. Like it doesn't cost a ton of money. Like I do this on basically no budget at all. Like I bought like a microphone and that's pretty much it. So it's low risk. Just like the lottery, you know, you buy like a $5 scratch ticket. It's not that big of a deal. And you know, there's a small chance that you win. There's a small chance that you hit it with the algorithm. With you know, with like TikTok and whatever and YouTube. And the last thing is that just like the lottery, the lie that they sell to you is that you want to win. That's the big lie of the lottery for me, is that if you win, your life will be better off. Because it's been proven like over the years. I mean, maybe not definitively proven. Yeah, Mingo, I see your message. I assume you like sent that a while ago, because that's what I'm about to say. Yeah, having like an influx of cash, no matter who you are, is dangerous. Like, and if you think that you're the kind of person who can avoid the danger, then you're almost like the prime target. Like, it's the people who think that they would be able to handle winning the lottery who are the people who are going to be most affected by it. Like, if you're humble and you know that it's dangerous to win a large amount of money, then, you know, maybe you'll be more careful. It's the people who think that they can make it that are at the highest risk. And there was even that one guy who won the lottery a while ago, who he was almost like the perfect candidate to win, where he was like an old retired guy, and he had a wife and kids, like a big family, and he had built his own business and, you know, worked his way up in the world until he had a net worth that was in like the high 8 figures. It was like he had like $70 million already that he had already made through his own business. And then he won the lottery for like 100 million, and that ruined his life. He said at the, I don't know if he's dead or not, but if he did say this, it was probably, you know, towards the end of his life, that he wishes he never played the lottery. And he was one of the best candidates to win, like one of the people who was probably least likely to mess up. And it's the same with social media. It's like, yeah, you think that you can handle fame? Well, you're probably one of the people who's going to handle it the least, or you know, the worst. I meant to say, if you think that you can handle it. And that's, you know, somewhat of a fear that I have. You know, not that I think that this podcast will ever be famous or anything like that, but I think that would be, you know, that would bring more trouble than it's worth if I became, you know, some kind of an e-celeb or whatever. Yeah, because there's also the issue of like streaming and whatnot, where if you want to be a streamer that does like, that streams full time, your personality is a big part of what makes the stream watchable. And if you sit inside constantly and you never have like outside social interaction, your life is really easy, you aren't being challenged as a person anymore, then yeah, your stream is not going to do well. Because your personality and your social skills are basically going to degrade. Like I said, that's what I was trying to say. I don't know what got me onto that. It's just a random thought. You'd buy a bunch of NFTs. I just saw that. Yeah. Also, Mingo says, look at Wings. Yeah. Perfect example. You know, tons of people have you know, they've hit the social media lottery and they regretted it. Because once you get past a certain point, it's like, yeah, you're never going back. Like once your face is out there and people know who you are and you're famous for doing whatever, it's like, you know, maybe you can blend in after like a number of years, but you're always going to have people who know who you are. And that just seems weird to me. Streamers are the worst type of people. Yeah. I really don't understand people who do like gaming streams. Like every time I tune into a streamer who's playing like a video game, and I'm not even talking about like, you know, people with one viewer. I'm talking about like the big guys who streamed like 70,000 people. Every single time I tune into their stream, they're not saying anything. Like they're just sitting there in silence playing the video game. It's like, how do people watch this? Like it literally is like quantity over quality pushed to the maximum. Because there's no way that you can put together enough material to fill, you know, that many hours in a day. You have to water it down, and there's always going to be, you know, chunks of dead air. And so I just don't understand why people watch that stuff. Gaming stream when? I don't know. I've thought about doing something like that before where I play like a battle royale game like Apex, and then I prepare things to talk about during the downtime. I think that would work. Like if I were just like doing what I'm doing right now, but I'm doing, you know, I'm talking during the downtime and then I play when there's like action. That was something I considered doing like a long time ago. That was before Garbage Mice. That was something I considered. Yeah, I'm catching up with chat here. I'm reading everything. Let me check the Discord chat. I'm getting so many pings, and one of them is a picture of George Floyd with a sombrero and a Mexican mustache and a burrito. Thank you for that image. I appreciate that one. Yeah. Just do the podcast while playing Apex. I'll do that someday. I'll do an Apex stream where it'll basically just be this, except I'm playing a video game at the same time. That doesn't sound too bad. And it would have to be like pretty short though, which, you know, good. I don't like long streams. Especially not long gaming streams. It's like long podcasts where it's, you know, it's like this. I can understand because you can listen to that in like the background. Who watches like a VOD of like a 9-hour long stream where some guy is like playing a video game? I could never understand that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to get through like one more topic and then I'll cut this off. I don't want to go for too long here. I'm starting to lose my voice. I don't know what's going on with me tonight. I'm literally like dying. someone sanded down my throat before this. A BBC just went and sanded my entire throat down to nothing, and now I just can't speak. It's rough out here. The 12-hour desert bus stream? Is that a game? Yeah, I don't know what this is. Is Artillery BBCing his GF right now? I don't know. You have to ask him. It's a question for Artillery. The British, yeah, is he watching the British Broadcasting Corporation with his girlfriend? I don't know. Very deep and insightful question. Oh, it is a game. Okay. Yeah. All right, sorry for the dead air. I'm doing stuff here. Oh man, I'm drinking all this water and I don't have to pee yet, dude. You guys might be deprived of the 9/11 clip. No, I'll play the 9/11 clip eventually. Even if it's just like to end off the stream, I'll play it. Actually, here. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick and try to pee while the 9/11 clip plays. How about that? And then when I come back, I'll cover one more topic. I'll try to cover one more topic before we cut things off. So here's the 9/11 clip. It is of a first-person perspective view of the plane on 9/11. Just so you know, it's not clear at first what it is. So just so you know, here it is.
If you hit Control M, this is the menu. Here's an icon. Let's see. So I am the smartest programmer that has ever lived. On this distro,
Literally perfect timing. I got back just in time. Oh man, that's a great clip. I saw that yesterday afternoon. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be a banger for the 9/11 stream. And then the 9/11 stream turned out to not happen. It was not actually on 9/11. But yeah, that is what Little Pizza Box is doing tomorrow. He's flying around. Yeah, I just thought that was so good. Like he flies around as it looks like it's supposed to be like a bird simulator, and then he ends it off by saying he's the greatest programmer of all time. And that's the whole clip. Yeah, rip Terry. Rest in peace. He will very much be missed. He was a very talented programmer, like actually. And yeah, it's sad that he died. I think the other interesting piece of media that he kind of left behind was that video of him where because he lived in Vegas, and he would take these night walks, and he would like basically vlog himself doing these walks at night, and he was out walking doing a video when the Las Vegas shooting happened. And so you can find it on YouTube. There's like a 20-minute video of him just like vibing. And then the Las Vegas shooting starts happening off in the distance, and he starts freaking out. And he's like, oh my God, the glowies. I gotta go hit him with my car. Yeah, he was too good. He was too good for us mere mortals. And that was Terry. That was the life of Terry. He made the funny game in his own operating system, and then he left us. He left us to go to a better place. Oh man, I have a really long topic that I could cover. I don't know how long it would be. It feels like it would take me a while to get through it. So I don't know if I want to start that and then like commit to it. or just save it for next stream. Let me think of something. You know, I'll do it. I'll go on a. It might be long. It might be short. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But basically, what I was speaking to earlier with the issue of social media. Also, hold on. I just noticed that the preview that I'm looking at of the stream right now is very, very delayed. Like it's playing the Terry clip right now. That was like minutes ago. That was a while ago. See, I don't know why that's so delayed. I'll just pause it. I'll be looking at Terry's face on my second monitor for the rest of the stream because I paused it. Actually, I probably shouldn't do that. There. It's up to date now. But yeah, so what I was speaking to earlier with social media and how it is enticing for a lot of people to play that game, to roll the the social media odds, to roll the lottery. And something that I was kind of talking about with the same friend who we were talking about this with is, I brought up the idea that putting yourself in the system, getting yourself involved with anything that comes out of these major corporations can be a risk to yourself. Like you basically are putting yourself at risk to an extent whenever you get involved with pretty much anything that is a product of these people. And so, I choose more often than not. And this is going to kind of expand because it's fairly basic right now. But I choose more often than not to avoid anything related to what you could basically describe as the ruling class, like governments and megacorps. I choose more often than not to avoid them because they have proven themselves over the years to be so fucking evil that I cannot stand them. And so the idea that I would, utilize like TikTok or something, that was something my friend suggested because he's like one of the very few people who knows that I do this. He suggested that I put like clips of this stream or like of my live streams on TikTok. And I told him like I would rather just like die than utilize TikTok in any way, shape, or form because it is a risk. Like it's a risk to children, definitely. Go back like a month to what I was talking about on the first stream. Like TikTok and any of these products are definitely risks to kids. And they're probably risks to adults as well. And like I said earlier, I'm basically rehashing all the points. That's kind of how I made the connection to talk about this. If you think that you're smart enough to use something like TikTok and avoid the downsides, then you're their prime target. If you think that you're smart enough to participate in the system without being burned by it, you are their target. I hate to tell you that, but that's just how it is. And it's the unfortunate truth. I'm trying to expand on this further. It's the unfortunate truth of the matter that a lot of the best people in society are going to basically be scooped up in this because their target would probably be, I imagine, I don't know this, but the target sort of audience for who they're trying to captivate would probably be curious people who are going to look more past the surface into what they're consuming, because those are the people who are going to get the mixed messaging and whatnot, or the propaganda in like the most literal sense of like they're trying to make you think something. The kind of like lower IQ people, or I guess I could just describe them as that, are not going to get it. They're not going to get the messages of like movies and whatnot because it's probably just going to fly over their heads. Like most people, they take the stories and whatnot at face value. And the mixed messaging, I don't know why I keep using that term. I'm getting tired here. The propagandistic messaging is likely going to fly over the heads of a lot of people who are not as curious, who are not looking into things as deeply. And so they hide that stuff just deep enough that, you know, that demographic, they're going to be the ones who stumble upon it and think that they found something when really they didn't hit anything at all. You know, they hit a landmine, so to say. They got baited into finding propaganda that a lot of other people would have just missed. You know, or they're gonna find the message. I guess, for going back to like what, you know, kind of lower IQ people are gonna do, they're gonna find the message and then just kind of reject it. I guess that's kind of what would happen. Your message is kind of being cut off. Hold on. Yeah, movies have themes, lessons they sprinkle in just for people to get used to it. Yeah, I guess that is one of the use cases of movies. But I guess an example of something. There are several examples that I know that I've looked into before, but I think the best example of what I'm talking about, of propaganda being hidden, like, you know, just deep enough below the surface, you know, just barely below. Here, hold on. I gotta let my cat in. It's one of the moments. Ah, there we go. Red Sante's cat has made an appearance for the first time on this stream. But an example that I can think of off the top of my head of what I'm talking about is the movie called Falling Down with Michael Douglas. It came out in, I think, 1992, 93, something like that. And it's a movie that a lot of people have seen. And it was something that I even fell for. Like, I will admit that. I'm reading chat here. Oh, the Protect Trans Kids poster. Yeah, it's little things like that where that's going to like hit kids. Like having, you know, stuff like that in the background of like a bedroom, I think it was. I didn't watch it, but you know, that's going to like hit kids. But what I was saying with the movie Falling Down, it was something that was really easy to fall for. Like if you watched it, there were little bits of truth sprinkled throughout it. And then there was, there was a lot more than that as well. And I'm not going to like take credit for finding this. If you want to see more on this, I'm going to be pretty heavily referencing a video by Blackpilled. You know, Devin Stack. A lot of people know who he is. He did a video on Falling Down that really changed my perspective on the movie when I saw it. It was like, wow, there's a lot of stuff I missed on my first time watching this movie. Where probably the most important scene that he talks about is when Defense is in the shop with the Korean man. How he basically blames inflation on immigrants when the immigrants are not the people who caused it. It was the bankers and the government and everyone else. But the Jewish director of the movie blame shifted inflation onto immigrants. It's like, yeah, a lot of people who are just kind of like average, you know, they're looking for things in movies are going to miss that. And I kind of like looked over that too. Like I remember my first time seeing the movie, I kind of like looked past that. Because there is a lot of truth in the movie as well. Like a lot of the commentary on immigration is actually, you know, pretty valid. It's like a lot of those people are just kind of gross and, you know, they cause problems. When they filled his table with sand. Was that a scene in the movie? I don't remember that. But yeah, there's, you know, tons of examples of movies over the years that kind of fit what I'm talking about, and games and whatnot, where if you just like want to play the games and listen to the music and whatnot because you enjoy them and you think that you're going to be resistant to, you know, whatever they're including, you're probably wrong. You're probably going to miss a lot of things, and that's why I err on the side of caution more often than not, and I very rarely watch movies. There are a lot that I like. A lot of movies I like, you know, Back to the Future and stuff like that. I rewatched all those movies recently. There are a lot that I like, but that's the problem, is that you like them. You know, if they weren't enjoyable, they wouldn't be a problem. The cop at the start, yeah. I don't remember that scene, but yeah, I know they like messed with him a lot at the start. Like they got him like a stripper for his last day on the job. I remember that. Yeah. And yeah, you pretty much just summarized my entire speech, Bagel, that you are not immune to propaganda. It doesn't matter who you are. Here, I'm gonna let my cat out real quick. This is part 2. Oh, sorry, that took a while. That was a cat swap. One went out and one came in. We swapped them around. But yeah. And I guess I could kind of expand on this even more, get a little broader, and say that like movies and stuff like that in general are not good for you because of things that I've explained in the past, like the reduced attention span and whatnot. And like, it can cause you to develop an addictive personality at the extreme ends. If you become like a hardcore consumer, you become a hardcore, spender and watcher of whatever. Do I live by myself? No, I could not afford to do that here, man. I live with my family. I'm one of those people, you see the statistics rising where it's like, oh yeah, everyone's like 50 years old, still lives at home. I'm one of them. Yeah, so, I guess I could be kind of insulting here, but I don't know. I try to be compassionate towards people who struggle with like addiction, and social media is some form of addiction, and consumerism, that's an addiction. And yeah. Just stop watching TikTok. That's the bookend here. Just stop. Just stop, bro. You are voluntarily plugging yourself into like a Chinese computer with an Ethernet cable, and that Chinese computer is just like turning you into an addict day by day. One brain cell at a time, you just deteriorate. You become Joe Biden. That is the plan of the ruling class. I cracked the code. Joe Biden is the model citizen. They're trying to make everybody into Joe Biden. You have a Soylent addiction. Good luck with that. The withdrawals are terrible when you cut Soylent. Yeah, that's why cliffhangers exist. Yeah, and like all these like interconnected like comic universes or like movie universes. Like I don't care about Star Wars at all, but I have a friend that's really into the series or into the franchise or the IP, so to say. And he was telling me about that the other day. He's like, yeah, it's like impossible to get into Star Wars now without like spending tons of money on like all these different streaming services because there's so much that you have to watch. And they're making it all like interconnected. Like if you want to watch the latest Star Wars movie or show or whatever, you have to go back and watch whatever one they made like 3 years ago. And they want to like keep doing that. So you literally have to go back and watch like the entire archive just to watch whatever is new. And yeah. Sorry if there's a lot of dead air. I'm kind of slowing down here. It's 9 p.m. The very late hour of 9:14 p.m. I'm dying here. And I guess I could expand on this even more. Let me expand forever. I'm just gonna keep going forever and ever until the sun comes up. Actually, I'll read chat for a second first. Yeah. Mingo just said, I remember riding the ferry and there was a guy talking to his girl about Marvel and she seemed uninterested. Yeah, that's definitely something that happens. Or, you know, people just don't get it. It's like, yeah, not everyone watches your show, not everyone cares. Not everyone buys Funko Pops. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So, you know, there's all the issues that I have just talked about, that I have just outlined. There's all of the problems that you know come with everything that I just talked about. And there are still plenty of people, and you know, this was one of those things that I just assumed would die over time because it doesn't sound like a thing that's very sustainable. But there are still people who are like, oh, well, it's the free market, the free market, bro. You know, laissez-faire. Just let it happen because it's consenting adults, right? You know, that's something that is, you know, one of those things that has just like, you know, made me, the phrase consenting adults and that concept of basing what is okay on consent, that's something that has really like, I don't want to say that it's like made me like upset, but it is something that like whenever I see it, I'm just like, why is this something that anyone turns to? Like it seems too simple to be right. Like the answer, like it makes sense in some ways to just say like, oh, you know, no one's objecting, so who cares? But it's too simple. And that was my problem with it. And yeah, basing morality on consent has proven to be basically disastrous for so many people, because you're placing the same amount of value in pretty much everything where, you know, no one, you know, says no. And that's pretty wrong, and it's not complex enough to, you know, give you the guidance to actually function as a person. Like I try not to talk about like the Bible too much. That's like Artillery's domain, even though he's not really podcasting anymore. Although we're recording something on Thursday, so Artillery will be back on the channel. But yeah, I was saying I tend more often than not, you know, which makes sense because I'm a Christian, to stick to biblical morality and Christian moral standards. And I think that people, you know, even people who are non-believers should as well, because they get a lot of things right in the Bible. Like people who follow biblical morality and like actually try to follow it, they're like the woman I talked about earlier, who, you know, she's like the trad wife I talked about earlier, where I met her, and it's just like, whoa, like this is like a good person. This is like a functional member of society. This is a proper like woman. You know, people who follow biblical morality and follow it well, they turn out like that. People who follow these man-made morality structures, they don't end up happy. And you know, another thought that I used to have, you know, we're talking like a long time ago, I used to think that being a Christian was, I thought that being a Christian would be boring, because I really like to think about, you know, like how I weigh things morally. Like that's just something that's on my mind on the day to day. Like I like to think about politics and about morality and about, you know, whatever kind of deeper topics. And I thought that being a Christian would mean that I wouldn't be able to consider that kind of stuff anymore, because, you know, politics and morality is basically already figured out in the Bible. Like there was a guide written. There's a really based Bible verse or a Bible, you know, chapter that talks about how politicians should act, and it is such a based verse. Like it is so good. It talks like, it says like, yeah, you don't, you know, waver from, you know, this set of guidelines, not at all, not to the right nor the left. You don't do this for your own financial benefit. You don't do this to financially enrich you or your family beyond like what you have to do to, you know, like live, you know, buy your own food and whatnot. Like it puts down like a really strict list of guidelines. And it's like, wow, if every politician followed that list of guidelines, wow, we would live in a completely different country. Like, it's incredible what kind of country the United States would be if every politician followed what was outlined in whatever that book is in Deuteronomy. And the reason that a lot of the kings of Israel failed is because they didn't follow that. Like, even David, who was the best king, didn't follow it. And, you know, obviously the people who were like burning babies later on, they didn't follow it either. It goes without saying. But that is the case. And you know, morality as well. Morality is pretty clearly outlined in the Bible. And so I thought that would kind of remove some of that joy from my life of pondering these things and trying to figure them out on my own. And that challenge of trying to figure that out. And wow, I know now that I was very wrong in assuming that would make it boring. Because biblical symbolism and interpretation and trying to take the words that the Bible has and, you know, make them apply to your own life and you know, make sense of them. Like, that is one of the most beautiful things that I have ever looked into. Like, biblical symbolism is incredibly deep and incredibly beautiful. And it goes so deep that it has been thousands of years and people are still finding new things. Yeah, I think the example that I can think of biblical symbolism that kind of got me interested in it was actually from Jordan Peterson. Ironically, not a lot of, I don't want to say that. No, I don't want to say that not a lot of good things come from Jordan Peterson, because he does give a lot of good things, you know, a lot of good takes, but he misses a lot. You know, I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, he talked about symbolism in Genesis, and that him talking about the symbolism behind the cherubim and the flaming sword outside of the Garden of Eden. That's like a clip that I've rewatched so many times because it's so good. Where he describes the sword being a symbol of judgment and the separation of the wheat from the chaff, which it is. And I think one thing that he kind of missed when he talked about this was he explained that a lot of the symbolism is more clearly explained if you read the book of Psalms. Like, it's much less interpretation. Like, it sounds really speculative when you word it the way that he worded it, but it sounds a lot more convincing when you include that you read Psalms and a lot of this becomes more clear, that the sword is a representation of the wheat being separated from the chaff, as well as death and judgment, and that when the sword is flaming, that represents death as well as hell. And so to make it into paradise, which is the Garden of Eden, you have to pass through death and hell and then have every part of you that isn't perfect taken away from you, just like the wheat is separated from the chaff. And it's like, that's a beautiful image that I really can't get over. It's like the entire, you can sum up Christianity with that image. It's like, yeah, there you go. And it's not explained very well, just in that sense. Like, you have to include that you're essentially spared from like the pain of that process by Jesus. It's very complicated. I might be getting too far into territory that might become boring soon. But anyways, is there anything left here? So we've been going for how long now? 2 hours, 24 minutes. All right. I think I might have to cut it off soon. I'm going to look around for last minute topics, and I'm going to check both of the chats. So if you have any questions or whatever, I'll take questions from the chat while I look for last minute topics. Yeah, I guess I have a way that I can close this out, but I'll do some last minute topics first. Or questions or whatever. I guess not seeing anything yet, but there's a delay, so I'll wait. I'll wait a couple minutes. I guess I'll explain while I wait. Are we still gooning after the stream? My voice is gone and I'm hungry. I want to go get goy slop from a drive-thru after this. I don't think I'll be gooning. Listen, I'm clean, brother. I'm clean. I don't look at those I don't goon to the Wojaks, dude. I'm clean. Anything here. Okay. I'll explain. I won't look at chat for a minute. I'll look at it in a second after I explain this. It's not really something to explain. It's just something that I'm thinking about that sorry, I'm looking at something real quick. Yeah, I'm pretty much just going to explain to anyone who may be concerned that because the streams are getting like fewer and farther between, that means that they're eventually going to end. Yeah, I pretty much thought about it, like, you know, how long are these going to go? How long am I going to be doing this? And I pretty much came to the conclusion that as long as I am being productive in the literal sense of the word, where I am producing something, I'm producing a product, which is, you know, what I'm doing with these streams, producing several hours worth of audio with a picture to listen to, that, you know, I should have a good reason. Like, if I'm going to stop doing this, I should have a good reason. Like, my attitude with hobbies, like video games and whatnot, and, you know, playing guitar, you know, hobbies that are just kind of meaningless, is that I do them whenever I feel like it. Like, if I'm having fun, I will continue to do them. But I figure that this is something that is more than that. It's something that, you know, I don't want to take it too seriously and say that this is more than it is, because it really is just like a stupid little podcast stream where I talk about nonsense. But I see it as something that is somewhat good for me, because it's developing some amount of skills like public speaking and whatnot. And it you know, it makes me slightly, I don't want to say uncomfortable to do it. Like, I still get kind of nervous before these streams, I can't lie. And anything that kind of puts you in that position where, you know, you're producing something and it's at some kind of personal cost, like where you're living on the edge of your comfort zone, anything where you're putting yourself in that position is almost always a good thing. So I was able to come to the conclusion by very much overthinking that this podcast is a net positive for me as a person, and so it's not going away. Because, you know, the truth is, if I were just going to stop doing this because I didn't like it, then this stream wouldn't have happened. Like, it took me a lot of time and energy to, I don't want to say like prepare. I didn't really prepare much, but to set aside the time and write down like a small list of topics, it took time. And then also I just get like nervous before the streams, and I always want to just like put it off. And I forced myself to do it today. And that kind of thing, I believe is most likely good for personal growth. And so I have like a legitimate reason to continue doing these. So if anyone worries that the streams are going away, they are not. For all those reasons that I've outlined. You know, I may not be able to do them consistently on a schedule, but they will happen. So they're not going away. All right. If I don't have any questions right now, then this is done. I'm looking at Discord chat. I'm looking at the stream chat, the YouTube chat, and I don't really see anything. So I think I'm going to close it out here. I think that this was a good one. Pretty good retention, you know, from my analytics, at least, you know, what I can see. People did actually watch this. So, good night, everybody. I'll see you later.
California, rescue me. I've been so low, I've been weak. It's too long since I've had peace. Well, California, California, rescue me.